Hi, my name is Mayowa and I love to dance.
Hey, Mayowa, welcome to the Well of Wellbeing. It's lovely having you.
Thank you. Lovely to be here.
Finally, getting a hold of you is difficult. I've been looking for you for my choreography lessons, and you just never seem to be available. Busy with the books, eh?
Uni is keeping me busy, but yeah. I always have time to dance. Like, find me. Let's go. Let's go to a park somewhere.
You are about to become a regular fixture here because we are planning some dancing classes on our social media channels. So
yes, I'm ready.
Yes, bring us the moves. So, who is Mayowa? Let's start by telling the viewers on the Wellbeing channel who Mayowa is, and then we'll just go into our little topic for the day. Who's Mayowa?
So Mayowa is a 20-something, 24-year-old, and I'm currently a student. I'm studying medicine at the University of Glasgow. I'm in my third year. A lot of work, but I am enjoying it. In my spare time, I love to dance, as you probably already figured out,
Yes.
and also just spending time with people, getting to know people. And I'm also part of the Bold Ministry at Destiny Church as well, and I really enjoy being part of that as well. So a little bit about me.
So, is Mayowa single?
Mayowa is single. Yes, she is.
And what does the season of singleness mean to Mayowa?
I think the singleness means to me a time to really focus on yourself. I think it's nice to have that time just to see yourself grow and explore the things that you want to do, and really learn about yourself in that time. I also feel it's a good opportunity for God to really use you as well, to really see where He's taking you without having to take into consideration other factors and other people. Other people. So yeah, I think that's what it is for me right now. Just really discovering about myself and learning what I can grow in and develop.
What are you doing with yourself in your single season?
So in my single season, say again.
I said activities or mindsets or just some resolutions for you. What are you doing in your single season?
I think in my single season, before COVID, before COVID, I was wanting to be a bit more spontaneous with things. I think I realized that because I had time on my hands and I was young, I had a lot of opportunities to do things. I really just wanted to be like, okay, let me just go and explore this one day or just go somewhere else. So I really wanted to enjoy that kind of side that I can just up and go somewhere. But then COVID happened, so that was restricted somewhat. But I think also kind of really plugging into my spiritual walk with God as well, just really wanting to see myself grow in that, especially since I was leading in Bold as well. I think that was a really good opportunity for me to learn more about that side of my life and really see myself grow in that area as well.
So you're saying you've taken the time to get closer to God and just explore yourself a bit more, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you think you would be single at this point in your life? You're 24 years old, you are career building. Did you think you would be solo?
I think I don't know why, but I always had it in my head that I wouldn't be married before I was 25. I don't know why. I don't know where that came from, but I've always had that.
Being in medicine?
Say again?
Was it maybe being in medicine?
Yeah, I think that might have played a part of it as well, that I knew that the course is definitely keeping me busy. So I think trying to find where that would fit in, I guess. I think for me, I was like, I don't think I would be married at least until after that time. Single, I don't know. I think if it was gonna happen, it's gonna happen. But there was nothing pressing about being single or being in a relationship before.
So tell me about pressures. Do you feel any internal or external pressures being single?
At the moment, no, not really. I think.
Wow, yes.
I mean, you always have those moments where you see a cute relationship goals photo on Instagram, or you see people out and about in couples, and you're a bit like, oh, that would be nice. But But I think, yeah, I've just got a lot that I still want to do. And so I just kind of focus on that, really. So yeah, I think internally, not that much pressure. I think because I still realize I'm still young, so there's not really that like biological clock, whatever, on me.
Yes.
But yeah.
And externally, I know you're part of an environment, a setting, any external pressure at all, apart from relationship goals on Instagram.
I would probably say now I've noticed as I've gotten a bit older, there is the pressure from like family on me. I'm fortunate that in my family there's still a couple of like of like all the cousins. There's still a few of us that are a bit older. So they still are in line to like get married. So the family's kind of focusing more on them at the moment. But recently I've noticed a couple of comments of like, oh, so Mayowa, like who are you seeing? Mayowa, who's in the picture? And I'm just like, no one, but next.
I feel you. And much like you also, I still have a few floating older sisters and cousins. So I'm still safe before the pressure really piles up. Okay, so talk to me about lockdown. What has been happening for single Mayowa in lockdown? Have you been looking at online dating? Have you been introduced to anyone interesting? What has singleness been like for you?
I think through lockdown, singleness is I think kind of finding out who I am, because I got out of a relationship about a year ago, just over a year ago. So I think during this season, I've really just been learning about myself and what that means to be single again. And like having that, like I said before, having that time to kind of explore new things and things that I've learned about myself whilst I was in a relationship, and like what that means for the next one that I'll go into. So I think that's something that I've definitely been focusing on. In terms of like dating, online dating, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's crossed my mind, but I haven't really like dabbled in it yet. I think I'm still in the mindset of, oh no, it'll be fine, I'll try and find someone old-fashioned way.
Old-fashioned way.
But yes,
still works, still got kids. So what would you look for in a guy? What is your type? What's your preference?
I think the major thing that I'm looking for in a guy, obviously, is that he loves God, and that you can like see that in his actions, like serving or even just talking about his own relationship with God. And so I think that is a really important thing for me. I also think I would like a guy who is quite hospitable. Like I love being in relationship, like having relationships with people, like getting to know people. Yeah, like
like a social.
Yes. Like I have my door wide open. Like anyone who was, well, obviously not now in COVID, sadly. But yeah, anyone who's anyone, I'm like, yeah, just come round. It'll be fine. So I think I would need someone who is okay with that.
Okay, I feel you on that one.
And I also think, a little bit spontaneous. That is kind of happy just to like go with the flow of life. And I was like, oh, let's just do this. And they're like, okay, let's go.
Oh my goodness, that's interesting. So everything is mostly internal. So you're into more personality than looks and trajectories and all this kind of thing.
I mean, they still have to look nice. Like I still have to be attracted to them.
Well, you didn't say that. Tell us a bit about that.
Okay. Yeah, they also have to. I also have to be attracted to them, of course. Like that's important.
Do they need to be tall? Do they need to be young?
Taller. I think taller than me. Taller than me, definitely. Yeah. What else? They have to be like athletic, because I'm quite into exercising.
You are. I don't know why that took me by surprise.
No, but they have to, because I'm very conscious about like again, I'm not like, oh, they have to be fit and like that, but I'm quite into like my exercising and eating well and living healthy and being healthy. So I want like the person that I'm with.
I agree.
Like that as well.
I agree. You wouldn't want a couch potato. You need someone who like visits the gym and 2 to 3 times a week.
Yes.
Maybe a bit of running, maybe a bit of walking. Just an active lifestyle kind of person.
Yes. Yeah.
It's interesting. It actually affects the person's mood and countenance.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's a big deal. It's like something that is a secret ingredient to happiness and wholeness. Be physically active in some sort of way.
Definitely.
Fantastic. So let's narrow that down. Let us compile this list together. So we are saying have to someone a social butterfly.
They don't necessarily have to be a social butterfly per se. I think they just need to be okay if I'm a social butterfly. But yeah,
a social butterfly, socially active, your height or taller. That's about 5. Okay, that's a nice list.
I'd probably say about tall. Actually, no, I'd want them to be taller. I don't think I'd want them to be my height.
Why does everyone want a tall person?
Because like when you like have nice outfits and stuff and you want to wear heels, I don't want to be taller than him. So he has to have at least a couple of inches on me. So if I do wear heels, this is not going to be an issue.
Hilarious. The memory that comes to me when I watch a lot of red carpet fashion, you see a lot of tall supermodels with not short, but average height men, and they look good. They actually look good as long as he's dapper and clean and well put together and doing your outfit with your heels. It could work, but it also depends on how tall you are. How tall are you?
I'm 5'8".
5'8". Okay, yeah. So used to be taller.
Yeah.
You can do an average height guy. Like if the guy was like say 5'3" or 5'4", that would be. If you were like 5'4" and the guy was like 5'3", that would be a problem. But if you're like 5'8" and he's like 5'7", I think that could work. No?
But it could work. I mean, it could work. I mean, if okay, let's say this: if his personality was like stellar and he was kept fit and everything, but he was only like a couple of inches smaller than me, I don't think it would be that much of an issue. But I think I would personally just be looking for someone a little bit taller.
Just for heels. Just for heels.
She said, you make it sound so superficial.
No, just for the heels. No, I'm only wondering if that is what you want, then that is what you want. Okay, so talk to me about how you'd want to be approached, or what would be a nice approach if someone wanted to ask you out. Hey, let's go hang. What sort of approach would have you thinking like, oh, that was nice, I like that. That was what would that look like to you?
I think I'd just want someone who's quite like straight up honest.
Yes, everyone goes straight up.
We like the confidence. I think that's it. Yeah. I think the confidence of just being like, okay, I like her. Let's see what happens, and just going up and be like, yeah, let's go for coffee. Like, let's go for it. And I think that's really attractive because, yeah, I think it's a confidence just knowing that okay, then he's not scared to approach you. So I like that.
Actually number 1 on my personal list. I mean, I feel like, honestly, I feel like having a relationship with God is a given. Like that has to, but down to personality, I think I'm in fashion, like confidence can take you a long way. You could be 5'7". If you're confident, you look tall. You could look tall in someone's eyes. You know what I mean? I think
true.
That's fashion works. People do a lot of things with confidence, and you see someone wearing something crazy, but because they are confident, it works. Because they're confident.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
like I had a friend who that kind of thing happened. Like she's 5'6" or 5'4", but because she's so confident, I always think she's taller than she is. So whenever we talk about height, she's like, oh yeah, I'm like 5'4", and I'm like, no, you're not. You're my height. You're like, surely. And she's like, no, but it's true. It's the confidence.
True. It's up here. It's all up here. So confidence.
It is.
So just come up to you and say, Mayowa, let's go hang. That's it. Just straight up.
Yeah.
I like that. That is incredibly refreshing. So let's talk about first dates then. What would you want to do on a first date? What's your ideal situation?
I think it would be nice to have an element where you're both doing something, because I think it allows you to like have like a common ground to talk about something. So I think, I guess it also depends if we've talked beforehand, like before the date or not. So if it's
different, you talk before, but now you're deciding, let's see if this is that thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think so it's okay. So we've already been talking then. That's the situation. Okay. So we've been talking. Say again?
We've already been friends in the same circle, the same setting, and now it's first date. What do you want to do?
Okay, I think I'll go and do like an activity or something. So I don't know, like bowling or I don't know. Yeah, like bowling or like crazy golf or something like that.
Okay, something actually about you, Mayowa. You're very outdoorsy and you like your
me.
Yes, I don't see you sitting down for coffee. I do actually see you going out and just doing some sort of activity.
Yeah, but I think there would also have to be an element where we can like still talk. So I think it would be like that, and then maybe go for like a coffee and just sit down and chat, or like we could just go for like a walk, like a hike or something, and just chat whilst we're walking.
That's nice. And then who should pay for the first date? Who should initiate the? Let me pay.
Ooh. So.
Oh my goodness. Okay, give it to me.
So I feel like whoever, if I asked someone out on a date, like if I was, let's go for a date, then I feel like I would feel like the person who'd want to pay. Mm-hmm. But then there's that bit inside me where I'm like, maybe it's old school, old fashioned, I don't know, but I feel like the guy should pay.
Okay, so let's first of all rewind this a bit, because I got this.
Okay.
If I ask a guy out on a date, I feel like I should pay. So are you out here asking guys out on dates? I'm just asking. Have you ever asked? Oh, so where does it come from then? If you don't ask a guy out on a date, then
yeah, I know. I mean, I feel like now I'm at a point where I'm confident enough that if I liked a guy and I was like, like we've been talking, we've been vibing, I'd be like, let's go like on a date or for a coffee. But yeah, it hasn't happened yet.
I don't have that level of confidence yet asking a guy out on a date. It's just
yeah, but I feel like I would only do that if I knew the guy already. Like I don't think I would go to a complete stranger and be like, hey.
No.
Say again?
So what you're basically saying is you think the guy should pay for the first date?
Yeah, but I think, I don't know if it's bad to say that I have that expectation, but I think I would use. Yeah, I was like, if a guy were to offer to pay on the date, I would be very like, oh, that's nice. But even then, I would still be happy to go like halves or like Dutch or something. Yeah. So I wouldn't have any issues with that. But I think if a guy was like, no, I'm happy to cover it, I'd be like,
go ahead though, go ahead. you do.
But yeah, go for it.
What do you look forward to when going out on the first date?
I think getting to know someone. Like I said, I like getting to know like people, like new people. So again, if this date is someone I haven't met before, or I've only been really talking to for a couple of however many weeks or whatever, I think just getting to know them more, and like you get a better read on people like in person, I feel, than just like over text or phone call. Like you get to like see their body language and how they behave in like certain situations that you may not have otherwise have seen them in. So I think that is like one of the things I really like about like a date, is that you get to see that. And I think also maybe if you haven't seen that person in like that setting, you get with that romantic like setting, I think it kind of helps you to kind of see each other that way a lot more.
Like no distractions. Like if you're coming from a similar friend circle, a lot of times it's like you're around other people. It's always like a group conversation or a distraction, or if you're having a conversation, someone cuts in here and cuts in there. But on a date, it's just like, so we're saying the focus of it all is what makes a first date. Fun.
Yeah, I think that's,
I'd have to agree. I would have to agree with that one. And then what's not so great about a first date?
I would say like awkward conversation. Do you know those conversations that you have and you're like, you talk for like 2 minutes?
Break it down. What do you mean by that?
So like, you're like, oh, hello. And you have like that small talk about the weather or whatever. And then it just ends and you're just like, so.
Tell me something that you noticed about the dating scene, the single scene.
There's a lot. I'm joking.
Anything. Could be Literally, maybe you've noticed that guys do this, maybe you've noticed girls do this, maybe you've noticed this is a recurring theme nowadays in pop culture, in dating and singleness.
I think I guess within Christian circles, I've noticed that this tends to be a lot of pressure, I guess, in terms of like if someone likes someone, there seems to be a lot of pressure of like, oh, how do I approach this? Da, da, da. And so the idea of asking someone on a date can seem so much bigger than it actually is, if that makes sense. I feel like a lot of guys and girls are let's talk about that, but guys and girls feel like they can't like approach someone and ask them out on a date because they think that it's made potentially like, I was like, oh, obviously with every potential relationship there is the potential that it could end in marriage, but I think having that mindset from the get-go can be a little bit
daunting,
precarious, because then you have this already, you're putting this pressure on this relationship that hasn't even started. So I think sometimes that can be something that I've seen a little bit, that I'm a bit like, guys, it's just a day, like it's fine. You're just trying to exactly
lockdown. What would you say is your one piece of advice for singles?
I would say for during COVID or in general.
Give us both.
Oh, okay. I would say during COVID, I think don't put pressure on yourself. I think for romantic relationships, but I think just for many things as well. I think I remember especially near the beginning of lockdown, like loads of people were like being productive and like making like all sorts of like podcasts and videos and starting classes and learning all different things, and I was just like, I'm just recuperating from uni, like I just had an exam, like I can't think, but I felt like there was a lot of times I was just like, oh, I feel like I should be doing something. And I think sometimes just I don't think there always needs to be pressure for you to feel like you need to perform or like have something going on all the time. That being said, I still think that you should use the time wisely. I don't think it's all day, every day to sit watching Netflix either. But I think, don't have pressure on yourself that you need to be a certain person or like perform a certain way, that God made you just the way that you are. And I think really finding that out for yourself and using that time to really grow yourself as well, I think is really, really important. So that's COVID. Outside of COVID, I think really be spontaneous. I think use the freedom that you have just to be like, oh, I'm just going to go do this, or I'm just going to go there, I'm just going to take myself to the cinema or something. I don't know. Because I've got a lot of, I feel like I'm in that age now where I still got like single friends. I'm a single friend, but then there's people who are married and like people who even have kids, and I'm just like, wow. And as much as a blessing marriage is, and as much of a blessing having kids is, time is also a resource. It's an investment. And I think as you have that family and have your like husband and your family, that time is also getting invested into them, but it means there's less time for it to be invested in other places. So I think as a single person, really use the time that you do have to kind of like invest it in things like projects or yourself or whatever, because you might not get that time back. So
you will not get that time back.
You won't get that time back. Yeah.
No,
you won't. Yeah. So I think, outside of COVID, I would say, be spontaneous, take opportunities when they come and see what happens.